Well. We will see. Yes, we will see. Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on, we got to clean up the mess here. I haven't picked up the garbage here at my studio in 3 weeks. And the cans outside are full and it's stacking up inside. This is not it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. No. So, hi guys. It's not sleepless in Seattle. It's anxious in California. Hello, Ken. Ken, are you going to NAB? Any chance I can hit you up for some mixed nuts? No, just teasing. Just teasing. Joe is here. He's bragging on his high-speed internet. That'll do. That'll do. That'll do. Yeah, I had coax. What was it? A long time ago when I was still operating out of my spare bedroom until I took over 3 bedrooms and my wife kicked me out. At least professionally, she kicked me out. So we tried the gigabit thing. It was, a gig up and a gig down, but they just couldn't pull it off. It was the cable company. And we didn't have TV cable, but we had cable internet. And they couldn't get it dialed in. Maybe the technology was right, but they just couldn't get it to work the way it needed to. Hello, Bill. Welcome. Glad to have you. Good to see you. Let's go back to that last one for just a second. MS Coast. That's not Missouri. It's got to be Mississippi. Mississippi doesn't have much coast. I mean, it's like Alabama. You got what, 50 miles of it? That's got to mean that you're only 90 miles from me. We need to do lunch. Holy cow. Yeah. Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. I am trying to put together, we're doing a little different on the Streaming Idiots meetup this year. I thought we would do a series of meetups at some of our favorite vendors. So I'll let you know when we get the thumbs up from all of them. I'm so sorry, John. If that's the best you can do. That's great. What do you do with all that bandwidth? Holy cow. Holy cow. What are you doing, Greg, with all that bandwidth? From the land of Google Fi. I got to adjust my chair so it doesn't squeak. There we go. Mississippi. I knew that. And there's lots of coast by me. Yeah. Yeah. Can you be just a tad more specific? Yeah, I guess. But how many uploads can you have? I mean, how many destinations can you reach? At some point, it just becomes more than you need. Not that I've ever experienced that. Well, they put in new internet at our church. We'd been using T-Mobile 5G, and it was intermittent at best, and not very happy. Then they put in the upgraded T-Mobile tower thing, but the PC that I built for the church years ago didn't like that Wi-Fi connection, and it would only do 4 or 5 megs up and down. And so I got to go out hair one day, and I decided, that little Wi-Fi card inside, it's not very big, and I bet there's an upgrade to it. So $12 from eBay or something, and I upgraded the Wi-Fi card, and that was it. Now we're getting, 600 down and 300 up. More than I need. More than I need. Long Beach. Where is Long Beach? Hold on, let me look it up. Long Beach, Mississippi. Long Beach. Oh, it's on the other side of Gulfport. Okay, cool. I like it. I like it. So where is the Louisiana border so far as you're concerned? Right past Bay St. Louis. Okay. Gotcha. All right, so there's Long Beach. And you're on the other side of Mississippi. Okay, so let's see what the drive time is. Directions. Hold on a second. From my location, hour and 45 minutes. Well, let's do lunch. I got a big trip planned next week, but after that, come over and lunch you, wine you, and dine you. Yeah. Isn't that crazy, John? Less expensive at this speed than at a lower speed, paying $80 a month. Yeah, we just upgraded at home from AT&T, essentially DSL, copper, to AT&T fiber. And they had to run, fiber through the house, through the attic. So we're all brand new on fiber. And I think we got the base package, but still the base package was like, 40 up and 400 down. Holy cow. Way more than I need at home. Here at the studio, it's 100 down and 20 up. Yeah. And when we were doing that, I don't know if you remember, for a while back, probably for 6 months, maybe longer, we were doing a trial of YouTube 4K 60, and we were streaming at 14, and 14 out of 20. That didn't leave as much headroom as I might have liked, but it was okay. It worked out. Of course, now with vMix supporting AV1. I was going to say SR1, but it's AV1, and YouTube supporting it. Of course, we can stream better at lower. Yeah. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see. Greg has done 24 vMix calls plus dual show inbounds, and still fits in 50 megs. What resolution are you sending back to the caller? And what resolution is the caller sending you? I know the caller's resolution to you is just download, which doesn't make, everybody has plenty of download. But a lot of times with upload here, if I'm doing more than 2 guests, I'm being stingy with my upload. Of course, I'm not as stingy now as I used to be. You'll have to, huh? Okay. I will. We'll do that. I keep hoping that they're going to get this X120. Yeah, that's right. X120 to market. They had it at NAB last year. No, I didn't go to NAB last year. It must have been the year before. And it was amazing. Anyway, it's a wireless, potentially battery powered 20X PTZ. And we put in orders for tons of them because I knew they were going to be very popular. but they could never get them to market. Could never get them to market. I was so sad. $5,585. You know, 10 years ago, if I'd have asked for a half a meg, even download, you know, they would say, oh yeah, it'll be $10,000 a month or something crazy like that. Crazy. Joe had to have his entire street dug up to get cable to his house. New build. We weren't added to the network when it was built. Oh. Down here, you have to pay for that yourself. I wanted to have fiber put into this building, and I am, 20 yards from a fiber, whatever you call the big cable. Is that gray fiber or something like that? And it was going to cost, $25,000 to get it in because they'd have to put in a node or something like that. So there we go. They couldn't do it that way. Good evening, sir. Thanks for your input on the USB power thing. It was as simple as cutting the two signal wires and leaving just the hot and the neutral, or the hot and the ground. And it's just powering a little LED light, so it's not drawing a lot. But thank you for your input. So today's show is going to be brought to you by the new X keys, which we are using for this show today, which maybe you should, maybe you shouldn't. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Two more comments here. I like the P240. Yes, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I like that 200, the whole 200 series. Even the old P200s, I like those. That was my favorite camera for a time. Kentucky, 2 days out from knee surgery. Well, shoot, you should be walking. 2 days out from knee surgery, I was still in the hospital because I picked up a, what was it I picked up? Something in my lungs. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't pneumonia, but it was some blood clots or something. I don't remember. Anyway, they had to put me on drugs, not the good kind. And it took an extra day until I could take it by tablet form. They were giving it to me intravenously. But man, walking was the best. And it's been 2 years, 3 years now. Oh man, Clint, you've already had your first one done though, haven't you? That is one of those decisions that I do not regret. I really don't. It was a great decision. And even though it kind of wiped me out from working with vMix because they were sketchy, kind of concerned about an old guy like me that would have to sit down all the time. Not what they said, what I said. All right, well, let's get the show on the road and let's see if the new X keys with the purple button, which I ought to make purple. We'll do that during the show. So we're going to hit the purple button, which is not purple, but it will be purple. And we'll see if this does the trick. It worked. How about that? Holy cow. I am so excited. The last 3 shows, including this one, have just been kind of a ramp up of new stuff for me that's fun and exciting. I mean, I like learning new things. I like learning new things, but even better than liking learning new things, I like learning new things and using what I learn. I mean, it's not just a, you know, celestial intellectual challenge. It's actually going out and using it. Now, 2 weeks ago, we did we coupled the vMix software, vMix Replay specifically, with the NewTek 3-play controller, so that and it's somewhere back there. Let's see, right over there, right there. Yeah, that's it right there. And we hooked it up via central control to vMix, and we're putting the finishing touches on that PC, getting ready to ship it off later this week to the AA baseball team that's going to use it for replay. It's up in Montgomery, the Montgomery Biscuits. Isn't that a great name for a baseball team? The Biscuits, a little butter on the side. Yeah. A little strawberry jam, maybe. Anyway, and so that forced me, I don't take things always easily. That forced me to learn to use a little bit of central control by Joe DeMax. Because he told me, 23 years ago when he first started central control, I think he was 3 at the time, that it would make vMix and TriCaster control surfaces work together. And by gosh, it did. And it has a great light show to boot. So was really excited about that. And then, of course, if you were around or if you saw last week's show with Joe, we went deeper in that, controlling that one, and also looking at the new X keys. I guess it's an XBE-17 or an XKE-17 or something like that. I've got one around here. Anyway, it's the one with the little T-bar. It's not a 17, it's a 14. And it's got a T-bar on it, but it was the first of the X keys to come out with LED lights. And I bought some because I thought it would make a great miniature replay controller. So it would give you the speed on the T-bar and then a lot of buttons that you could control, and would work perfectly with vMix. And we've sold a bunch of them. And then I got the note from Maggie at X Keys, PI Engineering, that they have introduced a whole new line. Oh, golly. And you know what? I should have been thinking about this, but let me real quickly, hold on a second. I should have better, I should be better prepared for something like that. Let's see, let's go there and let's save that. We'll just put it on the desktop there. And then hang on, bear with me. We're getting there. We're getting there. Boom, boom. So that's just one of the looks that they've got. Let's see if we can go get another look here real quickly. Bear with me. Here it is. Here it is. Yeah, there we go. Whoop, stop. Go back. So let me take a quick snip of this. Bear with me. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. No, don't leave. Please don't leave. All right, let's see. Where'd it go? New. There we are. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. We're going to save that quickly. We'll put it on the desktop. We'll find our desktop again. And we'll drag that one in. And we'll see. Holy cow. I mean, look at that. There's just like a whole passel of X keys in all shapes and sizes, and now colors. And just, I mean, check this out. It is like a multitude of colors. Is it 99 colors? Is it 99,000 colors? I can't tell you, but I do know that we are going to use those colors. Those colors, especially purple or pink, rather. Pink. So here is my new XBE-96. It's just keys. And I cheated and I stole the keys off of my XK80, which I'm going to put into a museum here. It only has 16 fewer keys, and it's still like it, but the keys aren't as colored. So I've been stealing keys off of this one. You notice all my other keys, my yellow keys are gone, my purple, pink keys are gone, and my pink keys, I just put the button on the keyboard. And what I found out right off the bat, excuse me, whew, I programmed my sneeze button too. What I found out right off the bat is vMix does not yet support the XBE-96. What's the deal, vMix? Come on, you guys are generally ahead of the game. What is this being a laggard? Laggard. Yeah, sitting on the back row of the class, not paying attention. Anyway, but somebody has been paying attention. Joe Max at Central Control is paying attention. And this keyboard, which I know as the XBE-96, Joe knows as the X-Keys 16X6. What is a 16X6? Duh. 16 buttons. Whoops, hold on. Let's see if we can hold this thing without not. This is like extruded aluminum and really sturdy and heavy. 16 buttons across, 16 columns, 6 rows, 16 by 6. So 16 by 6 suddenly means that when it comes time to program a button, I just simply count rows. And let's see, let's start at the top. And of course it's upside down to you, but not to me. This button is row 1, column 1. So you know what this button is called? 1, 1. The one next to it is called 1, 2. The one below it is called 2, 1. Or is this 2, 1 and that's 1, 2? Anyway, we'll figure it out in just a minute. I think the first number is the row. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the columns over to the right. And what it means is that it's easy to find what button it is you want. If I want to know what this button is, I'm just counting rows, which of course is 6, and then I'm counting columns, which is 4. So this is 6, 4 in the programming of Central Control, which I'll show you in just a minute, which I'm getting. I wouldn't say I'm intimately familiar with it, but I've got about a good solid 3% knowledge. Yep, and I'm growing in that knowledge. My goal is 11%, so we'll get there eventually. So yeah, so let's see if we've got a button here on the X keys that is supposed to show you. I think it is the, you see how I stole the blue buttons from my old X keys? Those are my cameras. Just quick and dirty cut to the camera. You know, you got to do it in a hurry. You don't have time for a preview. And 1 is this camera right here. And I think 3 is the X keys. I mean, is the X keys. Let's see. Yes, 3 is that. 2 is just my my Logitech, and 4 is in the dark right now. It's a project I'm working on. So let's go back to 3. So that's 3, and I found out, this is the keyboard to my PC. I found out earlier that this little keyboard fits nicely over my X keys, so I can operate 2 of them at the same time. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, of course. So we've got, I'll show you what I've done. I've got This is my main shot. So I'm going to go back to my main shot, and then we'll go back to camera, back to camera 3. And then this is my side-by-side with my guest. And that was Joe from the other day. Oh, and this is turning off my, sorry, you didn't see that, did you? This is side-by-side with my guest. This is the guest only. This is my lower third, just off and on, very simple, nothing fancy. And then the 2 pink buttons here are we'll come back to those in just a second because they're pretty crazy. These are just simple cuts. These 2 are simple cuts to pre-show and post-show. The green buttons here, green buttons now, green buttons, not just blue or red or purple, maybe. You had 2 of them at the same time. But green buttons. What would my green buttons be? They're my green room, my virtual green room. When I have a guest on, like Joe last week, on my XKeys XK80, I would just hit the green room button, and it did all, and it was like 10 shortcuts under that button to turn on the green room, to redirect his audio, redirect his video, redirect my audio, redirect my video, make sure that we weren't accidentally speaking on the master. And then another button, another green button, to turn off the green room. And I have, I've done the on, and I thought we might do the off together just to kind of give you an idea of what it is, because again, I started out with 1%, then 2%. Now I am up to 3% central control knowledge. And yeah. Oh, and I've got something else I want to show you too. I've got the big X keys. X keys. Can you make this wireless? The big X keys button over here in the corner is my cough and sneeze button. And so when I mash it, you can't hear me because it's muted my mic. And I like it. And earlier I had programmed all 4 of the little buttons that go under that big button to mute my mic. And they basically, what they did is they just fought with each other. One of them muted it, the other one unmuted it, and then the third one muted it back, and then the fourth one unmuted it back. And so the function of the button and it took me about 10 seconds, well, 15 seconds, to figure out that I needed to make one button the actual action. And then together I'm going to show you how to make the other 3 buttons light up when the one button lights up. And it's simple. That's the beauty of it. I mean, here, I'm kind of the acid test. If I can make it work in just a few minutes, it's got to be simple. Now, I will, full disclosure, I did send Joe to Max a message and said, Joe, I can't get this to work. And he said, oh, well, there's this magic key. Let me show you about the magic key. All right, so let's see, what are we going to do? Let me show you about the cough button first, because that's fun and easier. And so what I want to do is I've got some, move this for just a second, move that for just a second. Yeah, I've got a desktop capture. I'm going to roll over to that. And this may have been what you remember from last week when Joe was controlling. We've got the vMix here on the left, and then here on the right is the, have I misnamed it? Yeah, I have. Can we rename it? Rename. XBE is what it should be. There we go. XBE-96. Oh, well. Let's try again. Let's just go X keys. X keys 16.6. And it's pretty neat. And so we've got the 16.6, and we can send button feedback. And button feedback allows us to do all these different colors we've got. And Joe says that he just picked some colors. He can add other colors. So we've got black, red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, magenta, hot pink, white, and then all the other same buttons flashing. How cool is that? That's not, 99 colors, but it's a start. It's a start. If you need a custom color, yeah, we'll talk about that. And so there's a default column, there's an off column and an on column. And 1 happens to be my record button, which currently recording. So we can see, well, you can't really see, but if you could see, that button right there, which is a solid button, is red because it's red. And you say, well, Tom, why are there so many other colors on your keyboard? Well, let's go there, shall we? When I plugged it in and I had central control running, central control said, hey, you can't run vMix, through me unless you have vMix running. Well, duh. Any idiot, except this one, would know that. So I fired up vMix, and then I was able to log into vMix, and everything was good. But as soon as I started vMix, it threw up this kind of crazy, get out of the lights, crazy pattern of zigzags of blue and red. And that was some sort of something. And I thought, well, maybe vMix thinks this is my X keys XK80. And so I went in and actually disconnected the XK80 and rebooted and, turned it off of mappings and rebooted just to make sure that vMix didn't remember it anymore. But it appears to be, but vMix did note that there is an unknown device attached. And so apparently it was sending some color messages to this unknown device. So hopefully vMix will get on the ball and at least get this supported at the very basic level, which would turn off the extra lights. But right now, everything we're doing is just through vMix. Is just through central control. So let's go back to the central control figure here. So this is central control. And we've got our buttons here. So we're going to just move that out of the way for a second. And let's bring in our other window. Controls for the X keys 16x6. And here in the top left column over here are all our buttons. So 1 you can see right now is a vMix control to toggle the record button off and on. 1 is that STM button, that stream button, which let's see, it cuts directly to input number 69, which is the poster you saw earlier, if you got here in the pre-show, and to also start streaming, which is just an on-off button. That's 1, 2. I can use this jump to control right here, turn that on, and that's similar to the vMix shortcut find button. So if I press my green off button, it's going to jump to row 6, column 9, which is my green off button. And you notice when I do that, it says, hey, here's a command, X keys 16x6, send local feedback, which is to turn off button 6-8 when I press the green off button. Now, 6-8 just happens to be the green room on. Am I confusing you so far? You think you're confused. Hold on. Let's look at this. Let's go to our shortcuts page. And I'm doing this off screen. I'm going to drag it in. Yeah. Here's our shortcut page in vMix. And starting with that shortcut right there through this shortcut right there are the 10 shortcuts that I use to turn on the green room. And then, coincidentally, those are the shortcuts that I use to turn off the green room. So it can't be a simple toggle switch to turn it off and on. At least if it can, I haven't learned how to do that yet. Because it would take some other programming somewhere to have 2 different conditions for off and on. They couldn't simply be on-off toggles, because a lot of this is redirecting audio from one bus to another bus and turning buses off and on and changing video sources. And so we've got 2, 4, 6, we've got 8 different green room controls there. Seems to me we should have more, but those are the ones to turn it off that I thought we'd have a look at here in just a second. So we'll drag those kind of over to the side for a moment. And we'll put this back out on top of them. And we need to convert kind of our vMix terminology. Let's just get this first one right here. And in the vMix world, on my X keys, this was channel 2, which was the X keys, and then note 52, which was the button, which was impossible to find if you had to find note 52. It just didn't work that way. But then the function, set output 4. So we're going to go into X keys and make button number 69, which is our green screen off button, say set output 4. Now there's a handy little question mark here, and we could put in output. But I'm only finding one control for one key for output, one command, excuse me, for output. That's not what I want. So let's just try the set control, S-E-T, and these are all our sets. So we're looking for set output. Well, we don't have a set output button, but we do have the golden key button, which is the execute function. And this is essentially a direct call on the API from central control. It doesn't use anything built into central control. We're just putting in the top right-hand corner here, we're putting in the same as we have in the vMix shortcuts. So this is not as easy as a vMix shortcut. But I think I'll show you some of the other things that really are. So it's going to be set OUT PUT 4, and the value is going to be right down here. The value is input, INPUT, and then the input is going to be number 11. Now, unfortunately, at this level, we can't simply do a name. You know how vMix has got a whole list of names here that you can use, and they also have numbers. But in vMix, if you move the inputs around, it renumbers them, but they have the same name. At this point in central control, input 11 will always refer to input 11, which is the same thing as assigned shortcut to input number in vMix. It's not yet keyed, at least not this one, is not keyed to what input. Don't know what it would take to do that, but that would be an improvement. So there we go. We've got the button 6.9 that's going to execute a function. Here's the function, and we're going to add it by hitting the plus key. So now we have this function. We have two functions under that button. One is to turn off the light at 6.8, and the other is to execute a function. So let's go ahead and we'll add some of these others here pretty quickly. Audio bus off, I think, unfortunately, is another one that we don't have. So we're going to go in and just put in AUDIOBUSOFF, and the value is going to be A, that's our bus, and the input is going to be number 28. Heaven forbid I rearrange these. I'm going to be in deep trouble. So we'll do another plus. And if I click here, we can see how it's going to change to our previous set output 4 to our audio bus off. All right. So we're good with that one. So now we're going to do an audio bus on. We're going to execute function. And we can just modify this one just a little bit. We're going to turn on the master, and it's going to be input number 28 and a plus. Here is solo off. So let's see if we can do a solo. Solo input, solo input. Solo off. Yeah, I know which one it is, but I don't want to turn it on. I want to turn it off. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do an execute function for this one because I just don't feel confident on that. We can go back and change it later. Solo off. The value is off. And the input is 16. So there's no real value at this point. We'll add that one. Call this one done. And we've got another audio bus off. This is now for the vMix caller. So we'll go, can we steal that one? Yeah. And we'll say audio bus off. Value is A. Input is 16. Stay with me. This is going to be worth it. Oops. There we go. Solo off. Value is... No. Okay, sorry. I got confused. I was trying to cheat and edit one, but apparently it doesn't work that way. Audio bus off. Value is A. And the input is 16. So audio bus off, value is A. And it's number 16, and we'll add it. 3 more. And then we'll be happy. Happy, happy, happy. Okay, so let's do an audio bus on. Value is master, and it's number 16. Got it. Now we'll do the video call sources. Video call audio source. Let's see if we've got a control for that. I mean, a command. Video, nope. How about call? Set video call source. Oh, this is the video call audio source. Set audio source to master, and it's input number 16. So there we go. So our set call audio source is for number 16, which is a vMix call, of course, and we're setting it to the master. Done. All right. And now you really don't have to know what these are doing at this point. You're just simply copying them over. This is video call video source. So set video call video source to output 1, 2, 3, or 4, and it's going to go to output 4, and it's going to be number 16. Now we have previously defined, let me add that one, previously defined an output. Yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, we did it earlier. This very first one we did was set an output 4 and assigning it to input 11. And what that does is it means that the guest, the caller, sees one screen in video in pre-show in the green room, and then a different screen during the show, so that they will have a timer and some other things we've set up for them. Okay, so we've got a whole bunch of commands here under 6, 9, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. That's the same number of shortcuts we have in vMix. Let's go back to 6, 8. We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then we did the extra one for the local feedback. That's right. Okay. Oh, well, let's see. There should be more than 2, 4, 6, 8. That's right. Okay. All right. So if we did this correctly, let's get that out of the way for a second. And let's go back to our vMix screen right here. And just for the sake of jollies, let's put me in the top left corner so it's not quite as confusing. And we will set, well, let's run it just a few times. And what I want you to watch right here is watch the, let's just pop out the whole audio mixer. Where did it go? Right there. There we go. Drag it in right there. I want you to watch bus A and what goes to master and doesn't go to master. And here's the caller. And there is their audio off and on, and then the master. And then this is me, audio on, and then the master in A. So I am going to, I'm going to rotate these buttons through a time or two. And we'll just, let's see. I think they would be in that situation right there. Audio going to the master, kind of in a pre-show before we started a stream. So when I hit the green screen on button, me going to master, that's good. Okay. Which may mean you weren't hearing me just now. Haha. Yep. I turned myself off as a matter of speaking. So let's try it again. So we're going to go and turn the green room on, which should turn my audio off, by the way. And now I'm back with you. Okay, it looks like that, right? I don't have a guest, but we can watch and see. That looks like it worked. Let's find our guest. He was number 16 right here. So we'll look at his video source is now output 4, and his audio source is master. And if we put him in the green room, and you're not going to be able to hear me, you'll just have to watch what I do. And then that should put everything back on. Yeah, good. All right. It worked. Sort of. I mean, yeah. Let's try one more thing. Let's watch A right here and see if that gets... A should never go to master, should it? Yeah. So even when we turn this on, it's not going to change A. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Nope. Okay. So that's right. That's right. How about that? Cool. So that's working. That's great. I want to try it one more time because I want to see if my lights are working here. Oops, got tangled up in my keyboards. Wireless keyboards, guys, wireless keyboards. All right, so we're going to see if this light goes on. Off. For some reason, the off button came on too. I'll look at that. All right, let's go back to the cough button for just a second. I think the cough button is going to be really fun. And that's going to be, yeah, right here. All right, so the cough button's right over here. And currently, when I turn my audio off, flash is just one button, but I want all of those buttons to flash. So this is fun. So we're going to go into the X keys 16x6. We're going to go button feedback. And here's our, oops, sorry, got to bring you up to date with me. Where am I? There we are. All right, so we're now looking at button feedback right here. And we want to find the button over. Well, we'll just push this button. There we go. So that's row 5, button 16. So that's going to be all the way to the end. And currently it's a red flasher when it's off. Let's make it off when it's off. We'll go to 15 and make it off when it's off. And then we'll go to 16, 15 and make it off when it's off. And 16 we'll leave as a red flasher. So then we can go back into our controls for our different buttons. And we're going to go say when 16.6 goes on, that's 16.6, 6.16. Yep, 6.16. For some reason, it's got a toggle stream on there. Well, that's a dangerous button. Let's get rid of that one. Not sure what that one's about. So here we want to assign, when we hit this button, we want other buttons to do the same thing. So it can't be through vMix. It has to be through the X keys, which is what it's going to be. And it's called local feedback. So we're going to do local feedback on matrix 1615. And the default state, we want it to go on when 1660 goes on. Let's see if this works. We'll try it. And we want to do the same thing for 515. And, oops, sorry about that. Forgot to mute that before the show. And for that one. All right, so let's see when I mute myself now. Do all 4 buttons go on? No, they don't. Okay. Let's see. What did we do wrong? Let's take a look here. 615 feedback state on, target layer on. We're only using one layer, so we're not worried about that. Yeah, it should come on. Oh, you know what? We just very easily missed. So let's go back here and say, when 1615 is on, we want it to flash red. There we go. I think that's what we undid just a minute ago. And that's going to flash red. 516 and 515 is going to flash red. All right. So now that we're there, let's try that again. I'm just going to put up a little shield here so we can see. Now we got to Now we've got a big red flashing button that says, Tom, your audio's off. But I need to set some way to turn those others off. How do we do that? Oh dear. We've done it again. Let's see. Okay, so let's come back here. Send local feedback when, oh, this is a toggle. So these won't work as a toggle, will they? Feedback state is either default, off, or on. Huh. Well, we'll have to get some more information from Joe on that. Will it follow a toggle? Doesn't look like it will. So my bad. Let's get those turning off, because otherwise they're going to drive me crazy. So off and off and off. Okay, let's see. Did I turn my audio off or on by accident? Nope, we're still on. Okay. All right. So this is what, and it's interesting when I did that, well, at least for a second. Let's try again here. Yeah, there we go. When I'm testing the default and testing the off state and testing the on state, the keyboard does beautifully. But as soon as I execute any function, vMix says, aha, there's a keyboard attached. So there we go. All right. All right. Well, so my thoughts on the activators in vMix word on the lights for the cough button, we'll have to work on. One of them's working. I just want to get the others to work. Interesting. Interesting. Well, so our experiment here with the brand new, I mean, it smells like a new X keys. The brand new X keys, our experiment says that we're in pretty good shape. We got vMix to turn off some default buttons. We got some learning to do on the central control side. But having done shortcuts in vMix, I think this is easier, especially the numbering system of the keyboard is easier to understand. So if I were starting out from scratch and doing this, I'd feel real confident. I might not be happy having to spend an extra, what is it, $50, $75 to get central control. But once I did, I will say, oh man, this is worth it. This is great for the time that it saves me. And I think as time goes on, I'll probably save 11% more time in the future. Keep that in mind, 11%. That's the special percentage. All right, so we're going to go to post-show here in just a second, but I will let you know that I have a post-show button on my XBE-96 that, well, I can't do post-show. I've got to do the outro, the Jaws of Death. And I have an outro button. See that pink button on the left? It's upside down to you. So let's see. We're going to try the outro button. Let me show you what the outro button is. Holy cow. This is so cool. All right, the outro button is row 6, 2, 4, 5. So it's going to be that one right there. And all that does, that's pretty cool, is it transitions number 31 to program. And number 31 happens to be full of triggers. So I don't have to go in and do the triggers. But if I hit this outro button, away we go. Perfect. It even turns off the record. Well, I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked. This is like, I'm like a kid in a candy shop. Yeah. So this is good. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, let's see what you guys had to say. Because I know there was at least one person that said, no audio. It's because I was playing with audio during the live stream. Yeah. Yeah. All right, so Clint says this is his first knee. Well, if you want to chat with me about knees at some point, I'm all ears, because I've done it and it was the bomb. It was the greatest thing I ever did. And 2 recommendations. One is do everything the physical therapy people tell you, and then maybe some extra, and take all your meds that you're supposed to take the whole time, and especially before you go to physical therapy. That way you'll do more. All right, let's go back in here. Jesper, glad you're here. Glad you made it. Jan wanted a PoE to power an Ethernet adapter over USB, no doubt. There you go. And Maggie shows up. Oh, late, but not that bad. And they are pretty lights. And I bet you were too excited to release them. Fully supported in central control, and of course our PC and Mac OS software, and we have the free SDK. So for those of you that love this keyboard and would like to do other things with it besides just vMix, boom, there you go. Oh, Joe says I can type an input name into the input field 2. 2, does that mean in addition to? Like, let's see. Input number 3 is what? Is pre-show. So if I'm going to, instead of a 3, I'm going to type pre-show. P-R-E-S-H-O-W. Ha! Let's see if that works. Is that right now? Input number 3 is pre-show. Oh, that's because I pressed the pre-show button. I should be in post-show. Silly me. And so now this is input number 10, which is virtual post-show. Let's fix that. V-I-R-T-U-A-L P-O-S-T-S-H-O-W. And if you make a typo, that probably doesn't work, does it? All right, let's see. Let's go back and let's see if I can get to the pre-show now. It did. Worked with, oh, but it changed the input number back. It changed the input back to a number. It didn't hold the name. It allowed me to refer to the name, but it doesn't hold the name. Okay. You'll fix that. I'm confident. All right, let's see. The solo ones are also toggles. If you send over a list of commands, you would certainly like, they can be certainly implemented. I will send over a list of commands, but it's only as I discover them. And it's only as, I would like things to be. Doesn't mean that that's the way they should be. Hello, John. Glad you're back. All right, let's see. Bert says, also create an API function of all is script, then in CC use execute strip. Yes, yes. And I'm not a script guy, Bert. I'm a path of least resistance and least brain. Thank you, Ed. I got it. That's when I was realizing, oh, I'm turning my audio off, but I'm still talking. You can map the toggle command to the button. Then you can right click it. What? Oh, you got cut off. You can map the toggle command to the button, and then you can right click it in the mapped command list and execute block execution. Way over my head. Isn't that funny? You think you know things, and then you don't. It's a helpful way to mix and match actions and feedback. Well, let's go back to that one. Aha. The Virgin Islands decides to show up. Welcome, John. Good to see you. Glad to have you. What did you miss? Oh my gosh, what did you miss? You missed these cool new keyboards from X Keys that have all sorts of lights and blinkers and flashers and 250,000 colors. Not really, but yeah. And and I've mapped some of my my audio phrases to it, like this one. There you go. So that's very apropos for today. Let's see. Ed's got me nailed. Oh, you recognize that? Yes. That's my bird dog. Is it a P120? Yes, P120 has a little LED screen on the front. It's amazing. Yep. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Well, you're back. What can I say? You were working. You were sending out all these new X keys. All right, execute function accepts input names is what I meant. Oh, okay. Well, let's look at that. Does it hold the name? That's the question. Does it hold the name? Let's see. Let's find that. We'll go back here. Let's get that one out of the way for a second. What's a good execute function that we did? It was on 2, 4, 6, 8. It was on 8. 6, 8 right there. Yeah, there we go. Execute function. 28, I think, is my mic. Let me check through that list just to make sure and see how it's listed. It is listed as DESK AT 897. I'm glad this is not case sensitive. So let's go. We'll come back to it. And it still says the, aha. So any execute function button will be tied to the input. I'm liking this. The more and more I see it, the more and more I like it. Execute function. Let's see, what was that? 28. 28 is my mic. DSK AT897. By the way, if you're looking for a good mic, we'll go back to it. Yeah, there it is. Good. This is better. This is better. If you're looking for a good mic, I love my Audio-Technica AT897. I've got 3 of them. It's about a 6-inch shotgun mic. Means I don't have to wear a mic. Means I don't have to have a mic, in front of me in my face. Some people like that look. I'd rather just have nothing between you and me but air and internet. Think about that one. Think about that one. All right. Very good. Love it, Joe. Thank you. Joe has got it going on. All right. So today was interesting experiment. I know some of it was kind of out in the tall grass. I get that. You can get a free 30-day trial of Central Control, the Max version, the Granddaddy Max version. And just go to Central Control, click their download page and put in your name and email. And you don't even have to wait for an email. It just takes you to another page where you can download it. You can pick what version. I think I'm on version 4, although I don't think I have the latest subversion, version of 4. I've got version 4. And yeah, it's good stuff. Try it. And you might look at my YouTube video from 2 weeks ago when we did the New Tech 3-play controller for some of the struggles that I had with it, because that was just me and you 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. February 28th, was it? And it was it was an interesting show because it was successes and failures, or shall we say failures and a few successes. But it was a good learning experience. And then last week, March 6th, March 6th, Joe DeMax with Central Control was on the show and went through, some of the stuff. This is the way it should have been done. So if you've got the stomach for that, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. If you're at NAB, Joe is going to be at the X Keys booth, which is in the southern lower hall. I believe it's 8118, which is right down the hall, not far. I mean, throwing distance. You could throw an X Keys and hit the vMix booth. In fact, we might have an X Key throwing contest. I'll bring one. We'll see how far we can throw it if we can hit the X Keys booth. I mean, the vMix booth. And then from the vMix booth, you might be able to throw one and get to the PTZ Optics booth. They're all within throwing distance. Yep. SL 8118, 8118. And as we get closer to the NAB show, I will give you any free pass coupons I can find on that. So yeah, there you go. There you go. And I can't wait to ask, why is this the XBE? Because it's not an XBs, it's an X Keys, but it's the XBE-96. I understand 96. I may be an idiot, but I got the 96 part. Yep, we're good. We're good. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys. It's always an honor to have a couple of you show up. I'm teasing. But I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible at the, what do you call that thing? Oh, yeah, at NAB. So XKey says you can use their free pass, which is NS 3274. And you have to put that number in when you register. It'll ask you for a pass number. So there you go. I might use an XKeys free pass this year. Sandy's coming, Maggie, so she can use one too. Be well, John. Congratulations on your new gig. Yeah. All right. Catch you guys on the flip. So I think I have, do I have a button for, no, I don't have a button for this yet, but I need to make a button that I can push that will put up this poster that you're going to see in a second for about 10 seconds and then cut the stream. So here we go. Later.